Super common mistake that I find like very frequently now is people tend to bounce around way too much coming into Muay Thai. I think it's probably because maybe they watch, fights, like watch UFC fights, and they move around a lot. So Muay Thai is different to MMA, boxing. Muay Thai is more you stand your ground and you trade in general. And for footwork, it's more going forward and back, not bouncing around. Bouncing around is actually a disadvantage. Just a real common mistake, something that most people are unaware of, and very simple. This is easy. And when people do this, you can take advantage very easily. Now, a lot of people, they'll bounce around moving in circles. So if you go that way, I can just chop the leg. Bounce around like galloping. You know how people gallop, like boing, 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 go. Chop. If you go that way, chop. There's nothing you can do. So you're not gonna do this. Like when people move, they don't move and check at the same time. So when they're galloping, when they're bouncing, they can't block at the same time. So what's gonna stop them from getting leg kicked? Nothing. There is ways to move to the side, but first you gotta ask, like, why are you doing that for? If you're doing that, like, what's the point? Is it to just kind of be unpredictable? There's other ways to be unpredictable. The times you want to use like moving sideways is to keep your opponent off balance slightly. But when you do it a little bit different. You don't gallop. You can step. So you move, pop, pop. You can do that because I step, I can check. I step, I can check. So it's slow enough for me to go step, check if I need to. If I need to block a kick. If I'm moving, I need to block a kick, I can. So I can circle off, but not in like a bouncy way. Bouncing, you're not going to be able to block. So that's one. But that's really, you want to get out of that style of fighting. Unless you're doing it like at a high level and for a reason. But 9.5 out of 10 times, people are just getting smashed doing that. So, like I always say, if someone's busy running around, I love that because I'm busy smashing them. So while they're busy running around, I'm busy belting them. You don't want to do that. In Muay Thai, in Thai boxing. So you got to separate sports. So don't be mixing up like, but I saw this in MMA and boxing, they're completely different. Different weapons, change the dynamics of the fight, change the whole situation. So you add one weapon, it changes things. You change a rule and the whole dynamics change. Completely different sports. So I'm talking Muay Thai here. Forward and back, all right? If you do want to circle around, the way where you're not going to get leg smashed is what you'll do is you'll get out of kick range and then I'll move around. If you want to do that. There's not that much reason to, but if you want to. You just come out of range and you circle around. So I'll just do it so you can see it. Now, if we're here, let's do the wrong way, where you just circle this way, chop, and rule of thumb, when someone's circling around you, pay attention, chop their legs. See, try it out, it's gonna work. So have that as a rule of thumb. When you're sparring and someone's bouncing around, just smash their legs, because they're not gonna be able to check. And if they try to check, they're gonna be all sloppy and off balance, they're gonna lose. Now, if you really, really wanna bounce around, get out of range, just get out first and stay there. I can't reach you, I can't kick you. Now go. Now what am I gonna do? Then when you're ready, come back in range. All right, then we can fight. So that's the first part. Just know forward and back is predominantly what you're gonna be fighting. So this is like, we're talking footwork here. It's more simple. Boxing's way more complex. I can't speak for MMA because I don't know, I don't have experience with MMA. But boxing, much more complex. There's a lot more you can do. Muay Thai, it's a lot more direct and straightforward. And it's literally, straightforward and back. Now then the next thing so firstly know that. Then the next thing that's very, very hugely important is standing your ground. So you don't want to bounce around, you want to stand your ground. The reason why you want to stand your ground, meaning you're not getting thrown off balance when someone hits you, you don't go flying everywhere. Is so you're able to counter, so you can hit them back. So when they hit you, you're in a position to hit them back. to be in a position to hit them back, you have to be grounded. You have to be in a solid stance. This is what I see happen a lot. Now, if I throw a kick, be in a bit of a flimsy stance. Most people's stances are pretty flimsy. You want to be heavy, but be a little bit flimsy. If I kick you, I throw you. You don't even have to try. Let me just kick you, and you'll see you'll get thrown off balance. So just be like light. Yeah. From there, he's not going to be able to counter me properly. All right. So you've already lost that, and then all those opportunities are gone, just because you don't stand your ground. Come. Now something very simple. Forget about blocking. Just take the damn shot for now. All right. Like, you have to learn things one step at a time. So if I go back to the base, the most important thing is just being able to do this without getting flown around. If you can't do that, don't worry about the rest. So yeah, just stand your ground. All right, so boom, if I can kick you, boom, and you barely budge. And also, I have to show you one little thing about standing your ground in a second. So let's say, boom, then you can just counter me. Boom, yeah, you're right there. You didn't budge. But in sparring, it's easier to stand your ground. But in a fight, when there's power, that's going to be way harder, because boom, it's going to throw you off. That's also why you should rotate with your kicks, so you can, not only hit the opponent, but throw them off balance. When they throw them off balance, they can't counter you. Now, if you get a big heavy kick, give me the kick. Boom! If I literally stand my ground and keep my feet where they are, it's going to be very hard for me to keep my balance. Something simple as this. Now, watch my my back foot. It's very subtle. So you kick me, boom. I just take a little step, and that holds me up. If he kicks me on the other side, go, boom. I just take a step and he holds me up. Even if I take 2 steps, but the point is, you just catch yourself. Boom. Just catch yourself, but keep your torso fixed. If you kicked me, watch my torso, and that went like that, forget it. But if my legs can move, but not my torso. So if you kick me, boom. See, and now I'm in a position to just whoop. I can counter my kick. So all right, the point is this: keep your torso fixed. When you feel heavy kicks or things come at you, just shift. Just shift with your legs, but don't ever give your spine. Don't ever let your spine bend.